metatarsal, tarsal, phalanges of the digits, metatarsal, tarsal, phalanges of the digits, metatarsal, tarsal, phalanges of the digits. Put on dark glasses and repeat these words. Beyond the words gleams a kind of depth, but it can't be said aloud. In poets, there appears a kind of depth, a kind of void. Metatarsal, tarsal, phalanges of the digits. This is poetry. This is verse. Metatarsal, tarsal, phalanges of the digits. Put on dark glasses and repeat these words. Beyond the words gleams a kind of depth, but it can't be said aloud. In poets, there appears a kind of depth, a kind of void. Metatarsal, tarsal, phalanges of the digits. This is poetry. This is verse. This is verse. This is verse. This is verse. This is poetry. This is verse. Tarsal. This is poetry. Phalanges of the digit. This is poetry. This is poetry. This is verse. Verse. Metatarsal. Tarsal. This is verse. Verse. This is poetry. This is verse. This is verse. Tarsal. Phalanges of the digits. This is poetry. This is verse. Metatarsal. Tarsal. This is poetry. This is verse. Metatarsal. This is verse. Tarsal. This is phalanges of the digits. This is verse. This is verse. This is verse. Metatarsal. This is verse. Phalanges. This is verse. Phalanges. This is poetry. This is verse. This is verse. This is poetry. This is verse. Metatarsal. Verse. Tarsal. This is phalanges of the digits. The path to his stone on the high dune leads through an airy forest of pine, tall, straight, with sunlight glancing through the crowns, as though celebrating the retreat of the sea millennia ago. But, quote, we pass through as though feeling our way at night in the hallways of an apartment with a glue gun in hand, afraid of stepping on an abandoned toy, something like a vacuum cleaner filter, unquote, like a vacuum cleaner filter, unquote. That's what this reminds me of, you announce, and I've got nothing to say. For a while we stand quietly by the stone, for a while I've got nothing to say, and I've got nothing to say. For a while we stand quietly by the stone with the photograph until you find the right words once more. Quote, and you know there was this time he and I were kissing after a concert. Unquote. What can you say after that? Quote, I can give you a lift back. Drive the car and extend the silence. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. That's all I can do.
līdz viņa akmenim augstā kāpā, šķērso caurspīdīgu mežu, augstu, taisnu, galotnēm mirgojot saulē, gluži kā svinot jūras atkāpšanās tūkstošgades. Bet mēs te lavāmies it kā pēc taustas, naktī dzīvokļa gaitiņos ar līmes pistoli rokā. Baidoties uzkāpt nomestai rotaļlietai, kas izskatās pēc putekļu sūcē filtra. Lūk, ko tas atgādina, tu saki, bet man pat nav ko teikt. Kādu laiku mēs klusēdami stāvam virs akmens ar fotogrāfiju, kamēr tu atkal atrodi vajadzīgos vārdus. Bet reiz taču mēs ar viņu skūpstiemies pēc koncerta. Ko te piebilst, varu pacert līdzi atpakaļ ceļā. Ilgi, klusējot, vadīt mašīnu. Tas ir tas, ko es rodu. Ilgi, klusējot, vadīt mašīnu. Tas ir tas, ko es rodu.
The car in extended silence. That's all I can do. Drive the car in extended silence. That's all I can do. Drive the car in extended silence. That's all I can do. You say I drive the car. What can you say after that? Got nothing to say. What can you say after that? What can you say after that? I've got nothing to say. What can you say after that? I've got nothing to say. What can you say after that? What can you say? I've got nothing to say. In extended silence. I've got nothing to say. That's all I can do. Drive the car in extended silence. That's all I can do. Drive the car in extended silence. That's all I can do. Always on foot. I don't wait at bus stops. No calls from phone booths if there's nothing to wipe the receiver with. Or I just don't touch my ear with it. Can't stand eating in cafes anymore. They used to pass a single cup around the table. Squeamish to breathe in a crowd, to take change or start conversations. Don't shake others' hands. Wash my own often. And plus, one more minus. And plus, one more minus. And plus, one more minus. Tried to open an account. Can't sign my name the same way, even twice. That's why I'll never have my own business. But how are you doing, my own business? But how are you doing? But how are you doing? But how are you doing? Yes. But how are you doing? Grasping the above, with legs astride my pony, I realize. Looks like our children will have no initials. How could we put before our own last names any others? I can't imagine. Can't imagine. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. One more minus. How are you doing? But 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 how are you doing? I can't imagine. One more minus. But how are you doing? One more minus. But how are you doing? And plus, one more minus. And plus, one more minus. But how are you doing? But how are you doing? I can't imagine. And plus, can't imagine. And plus, I can't imagine. And plus, I can't imagine. And plus, but how are you doing? But how are you doing? But how are you doing? How are you doing? Considered by most who drive through just an annoying reason to put on the brakes. And those who do pass by each day exceed in number the local population by several times over. Then it should be immediately clear to you how suspicious it is to see a private car in the shadows parked in front of a truck on the narrow shoulder of the tunnel, cut by the freight traffic through the crowns of the trees. What's that under the canvas sheeting? What's behind the smoked windows in back? Maybe nothing at all. Just a coincidence. 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 Coincidence. Be nothing at all. Just a coincidence. Be nothing at all. Coincidence. Today I understood that I have never yet in my life typed the word ankle bone. And I've never had the occasion to write it longhand either. As far as I can recall, how could that be? How could that be? How could that be? Ankle bone, 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 ankle bone. Are there many other words like that? Are there many other words like that? How can one know? Are you typing out every character to me? Or just copying your goodbye, 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 goodbye. Are there many other words like that? Goodbye, goodbye, that. Are there many other words like that? Ankle bone, ankle bone, ankle bone, ankle, goodbye, 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 goodbye.